Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Latavia. This is my first YouTube video. This is my first time recording myself, so I do apologize if this video is not quite perfect. I also do apologize if this video is not quite perfect compared to the other crime videos that have been posted about this particular case. And the case I want to talk about today is the case of Christopher and Shannan Watts. If you all do not know who these people are, Christopher is currently serving 3 life sentences in prison for the murder of his wife Shannan and their 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste. Now, to give a brief summary on Chris and Shannan, they met back in 2009 on Facebook through a mutual friend. At first, Shannan was not interested whatsoever. She wasn't really looking for a relationship. From what she's told in a couple of videos, she was dealing with some side effects from her lupus, so she wanted to try to focus on that, try to have a better mindset, reach some goals. Sis was not really down for a relationship at the time, but Chris was persistent, and he swept her off her feet. They did it for a couple of years before he proposed to her in 2011, and then fast forward to 2012, on November 3rd, they were married. A few months after they married in 2013, they gave birth to their oldest daughter, Bella, in December, and then fast forward to 2015, they gave birth to their youngest daughter, Celeste. And when Shannan gave birth to her 2 children, she did it with the help of fertility drugs because due to lupus, unfortunately, she wasn't able to conceive on her own. But God blessed her with 2 beautiful children. And throughout the years, you would think by looking at Facebook and looking on videos that him and Chris and Shannan had the perfect relationship. They had the perfect marriage. They had 2 beautiful children, a big, beautiful house. They seemed to have it all together. And now, looking at today, it really makes you go on that saying as you don't know what happens behind closed doors, which this case is a prime example of because, if you look at comments on YouTube, if you've seen Shannan's family and interviews they didn't expect this from him. They said Chris was a wonderful father. He was perfect. And no one they knew really saw this coming, which is sad and scary at the same time, because if you're pinning up that much anger to make you want to off your whole entire family and you're hiding that's pretty scary that you're hiding that so well, that much anger so well that no one saw it coming. Everybody's shocked when you do crazy shit like kill your whole entire family. But what I really want to focus on today, being someone who's followed this case for weeks, is why did Chris do what he did? Why did he not just divorce Shannan? Why not just divorce her and go off? And he didn't want the role of being a dad either. Why not just sign your rights over to the girls? Why did you have to kill them? Why would you rather face life in prison instead of just being a man, growing some balls and going through that process? And like I said, I followed this case for weeks and I've seen very many theories. And the first theory I want to talk about today is his mistress. This seems to be a big popular one, which is understandable, but his mistress, Nicole Kessinger. Now, him and Nicole Kessinger met at work and they began this affair, and Nicole claims that she didn't know Chris was married. She apparently was told that they were in the process of getting a divorce. They had the 2 kids, but he didn't want the marriage anymore. And me personally, I think Nicole had something to do with this case, because if you see interviews of her demeanor, the way she talks, she doesn't seem to shed a tear for what happened, that the man she was having an affair with had offed his pregnant wife, who was only 15 weeks at the time, and their 2 children. That doesn't seem to bother her. She seems more concerned with the fact that people hate her. She seems more with the fact that she's going to be scared to go out in public as someone might shank her ass. I don't know. But she doesn't seem to be remorseful for this situation at all. And not to mention that she has lied about not knowing he was married, considering back in 2017, she Googled Shannan. She's been allegedly, apparently, Googling wedding dresses and also Amber Frey's book. And if you don't know who Amber Frey is, she was Scott Peterson's side piece. So that's one theory about it. People think that Chris killed his family to be with her. I guess he loved Nicole so much that he chose to be with her over Shannan. Which, Nicole is stupid, because he told you he was in the midst of getting divorced, but it said that they weren't even having sex anymore and that he was sleeping out down in the basement. But Shannan ends up pregnant. Like, if I was her, I would have left. Right when I found out Shannan was pregnant, I would have left. I would have never been with a married man to begin with unless I had proof that they were actually getting divorced. But other than that, like, no, I wouldn't have anything to do with that, because that's just messy and can end like this case ended. Now, another theory people are having is that Chris and Shannan were allegedly bankrupt. They were living beyond their means. They weren't really the life that they showed on Facebook, not only having the perfect marriage, but they seemed financially, well off, because that big beautiful house, especially in Colorado, that big beautiful house is not cheap. So people probably believe that they had riches on top of riches. And I guess people believe that another reason Chris may have killed his family was because of the financial pressure and the bankruptcy, and living beyond their means made him snap and kill his wife and children, which I kind of feel like that doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest, because why would you, well, this case doesn't make any sense for a whole, but why not just get a smaller house? Why not just try to get what you can afford? To me, that theory is kind of, I'm not really sure if that would be a reason why. I mean, being a parent, there is a lot of pressure, but me personally, I don't believe living beyond their financial means was really anything to do with it. Like I said, I lean more towards Nicole, and him being with her and having an affair with her. So the third theory I want to talk about is Thrive. As you guys know, Shannan was big on Thrive. She promoted it. She was very successful in it. She had even won a Lexus, which Lexuses aren't cheap. She had one Alexis with it, and she was constantly talking about the little protein bars or whatever they are. She was constantly talking about the patches. From the brief amount of information I've read on Thrive, they had some patches were for anxiety. They had them for energy. And a lot of people think Thrive, since it's not FDA approved, had something to do with this death as well. That, that it made Chris and Shannan, go crazy. It made them, not think straight. It had a negative effect on them, which led to Chris going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and once again killing his family. Now, that theory, to me, that kind of makes sense, because, I would not take something that's not really FDA approved. Hell, I probably wouldn't take some of the stuff that is FDA approved. But, you got to be careful what you put into your body. Your body is a temple. Your body is your one and only vessel. You can't get another body. So, if that's the case, that is sad. That does suck. But I feel like that's another theory that I agree with, that, Thrive may have got to them and be the reason why he killed his family. So this video is very short and very brief. what I want to discuss in the comments below is everybody else's opinion on why Chris did what he did. Once again, you know, I do apologize if this video isn't perfect, if this video isn't up to par to the other crime videos I tried. I hope another crime video I post be a little bit better. But thank you guys for listening, and leave something in the comments.